Today, security researchers put the running total at more than $130 million. Stolen, gone, from devices that have never once been connected to the internet. Not hacked over Wi-Fi, not plugged into a bad laptop, not opened, not touched, not even in the same country as the person taking the money. There is no break-in on the tape, because there was never a break-in. Somebody sat on a couch, did some maths, and the money left. And the reason it worked is the single most misunderstood idea in computing. It is something your phone, your laptop, and every device you own does badly, quietly, all day long. Computers cannot actually be random, they can only pretend. And 5 years ago, one of them stopped pretending well enough. Last Thursday, a company called Coinkite published a security advisory about its own product. Coinkite makes the COLDCARD, a small hardware wallet, roughly the size of a calculator, with a transparent case and a numeric keypad, designed to hold Bitcoin keys. The entire selling point is that it never goes online. It signs things in the dark and hands the result back through a card. By that weekend, around 594 Bitcoin had been swept out of roughly 500 addresses, $38 million. Today, TechCrunch reported the total has passed 130 million. It is still climbing while I am saying this. Elliptic, TRM Labs, Galaxy Research, and Block are all now picking through it. And no alarm went off anywhere, because nothing actually happened to the devices. They are all still sitting on shelves, working perfectly, empty. One man, Jonathan Goodman, lost $1.6 million and described the cause better than any researcher did. He said it came down to one line of code, from 2021, in the hardware that created his seed phrase. That word, seed, is the whole story. And this is where it stops being a crypto story and becomes a computer story. Here is the thing almost nobody realizes about a crypto wallet. It does not store your money, and it barely stores your keys. It stores one number, and every key you will ever use is calculated from that number. If you have ever played Minecraft, you already understand this perfectly. A Minecraft world has a seed. Type in the same seed, and you get the same world. Same mountains, same villages, same cave under the same tree. Every time. Forever. That is not a copy. It is the same recipe. Run again, producing an identical result. A wallet works exactly like that. The seed is the world. Your addresses are the villages. Those 12 or 24 words you were told to write down and hide, or punch into a steel plate, if you were serious about it, they are not a password. They are that number, spelled out in a dictionary so a human can carry it. Every key, every address, every signature you will ever make comes out of it, in order, by a fixed public formula that anyone can run. Which means if I know your seed, I do not need your device, your password, or your permission. I just build the same world and walk to your house. So the entire security of the thing rests on one question. How hard is that number to guess? The answer is supposed to be 128 bits. That is a number with roughly 39 digits. Guessing it is not difficult. It is arithmetically impossible. You would run out of universe first, which means the device has exactly one important job in its whole life. Pick that number well. So how does a computer pick a number nobody can predict? And the honest answer is, normally, it doesn't. Software randomness is a formula. You give it a starting value, and it grinds out numbers that look scattered. But it is a recipe, not a coin toss. Same starting value in, same sequence out. Every single time. It is your shuffle button. It feels chaotic in the moment, but there is nothing chaotic in there at all. That is fine for shuffling songs. It is catastrophic for keys, because if I can guess your starting value, I can replay your entire sequence. So serious hardware doesn't use a formula. It uses physics. Real chips have a true random number generator, an actual physical circuit, soldered onto an actual board, listening to something genuinely unpredictable. Electrical noise, thermal jitter, the tiny electrical mess of being a warm object in a universe. You cannot predict that, because nobody can. Not the manufacturer, not the attacker, not the laws of physics on a good day. This is the actual difference between the two, and it is not a matter of quality. One of them has a secret the outside world genuinely does not possess. The other one only has a starting value, and a starting value is a thing that can be looked up, worked out, or narrowed down to a few million guesses over a coffee. The COLDCARD has one of those physical circuits. It's shipped with one. It was always in there. It just wasn't the thing generating your seed. For 5 years, a device sold on the promise of true physical unpredictability was, underneath, a stopwatch cosplaying as a pair of dice. In March 2021, Coinkite did something completely routine. They moved their cryptography over to libcp256k1, the standard library Bitcoin Core itself uses. Good engineering. Boring, sensible, the right call. But in that move, the call that generates a seed changed. It used to reach for the hardware noise circuit. Afterwards, it reached for a general-purpose random function instead. And that function quietly resolved to MicroPython's software fallback. The formula, not the physics. Now, why did nobody notice? Because this is not a dramatic line. It is the kind of line that scrolls past in a review at 4 in the afternoon, in a wall of other lines looking exactly like every one of them. It comes down to the smallest, most human mistake in the entire C language. The firmware had a switch labeled hardware-RNG, and it was set to off, because Coinkite intended to use their own. But the check guarding the fallback didn't ask whether that switch was on. It only asked whether the switch existed. It existed. It was set to 0. 0 is a value. The check passed. Imagine a smoke alarm that tests itself by confirming it has a battery compartment. Not a battery, a compartment. So the backup generator, the one meant only for chips with no noise circuit at all, got compiled in and quietly took over. And what was it using for its starting value? Constants baked into the code. The chip's own ID, which is essentially its coordinates on the silicon wafer it was cut from. And the clock, at boot. Not noise, not physics. A serial number and a timer. Structured, orderly, and, critically, guessable. And the blast radius is very specific, which matters if you own one of these. On the Mk2 and Mk3, it ran from firmware 4.0.1 all the way through 4.1.9, fixed in 4.2.0. The newer Mark IV, Mark V, and Q devices were affected too, on anything before their own recent releases. 5 years of shipping, 6 further firmware updates on the older device. Nobody looked, because there was nothing that looked wrong. The dice were never rolling. The stopwatch was just very good at looking busy. So the seed was still a big number. It just wasn't a big random number. Coinkite's own analysis puts it at roughly 40 bits of real unpredictability on the older Mark II and Mark III devices, instead of 128. And that gap is the entire heist, so it is worth being precise about how brutal it is. Every single bit you add doubles the number of possibilities. That is not a gentle curve. That is a cliff, in the good direction. 40 bits is about 1.1 trillion combinations, which sounds enormous, and to a human it is. To a graphics card, a trillion is a Tuesday. Independent analysts describe 40 bits as sweepable in a matter of hours on ordinary hardware. 128 bits is around 340 undecillion. That is a 3, followed by 38 digits. Same device, same code, same 12 words on the card. 2 completely different universes. So the attack is almost insultingly simple. You don't hack anything. You generate every world the device was ever capable of making. Then you check which of those worlds have money in them. Then you walk in. And now look at what the air gap was actually protecting. Being offline stops anyone reaching IN to the device. It does absolutely nothing if the secret inside can be recreated from the outside. The wall was real. The attacker just built an identical house next door. Our man on the couch never learned what a COLDCARD looks like. He didn't need to. He was never attacking the device. He was attacking the maths it used. The newer models were partly shielded because their secure element chips mixed extra material in. Coinkite estimates around 72 bits there, though researchers at Block have pushed back, arguing the real figure sits closer to 50 or 60. That argument is still live. Now here is the part I genuinely love, because it rewards the most annoying people in the room, COLDCARD has a feature called Add Dice Rolls. You roll actual physical dice and type the results in. It exists for people who did not fully trust the chip, who thought, I would rather supply my own randomness, thanks. For years, those people were the punchline. Grown adults rolling dice at a desk, feeding a computer numbers by hand. They are the only ones who are completely fine, because the firmware hashed the device's number together with every roll they entered. 50 to 98 private rolls contributed at least 128 bits of genuine entropy. Their dice were real. The device's dice were a stopwatch. The real ones won. And the last piece is the one that should worry you far beyond crypto. Coinkite says they were unaware of this for over 5 years. A reseeding feature added in 2022 turned out to be general hardening, not a fix. Nobody knew there was anything to fix. Independent analysts landed on the sentence that explains all of it. There was no written requirement stating where seed entropy had to come from, so the implementation had nothing to visibly contradict. It wasn't a rule that got broken, it was a rule that was never written down, because it was too obvious to say out loud. Every code review passed, every audit passed. The code did exactly what it said. Nobody had written down what it was supposed to say. The total is still moving, and the interesting question now is not how much, it is whether that 72-bit estimate on the newer devices holds up, or whether Block is right and it is closer to 50. Because one of those numbers is a warning, and the other one is another few hours on a couch. Either way, I'm Texter, and the thing worth carrying out of this isn't about wallets at all. It's that random is a promise a machine makes, and almost nothing you own can actually keep it. If that landed, hit like and subscribe, and tell me down in the comments where else you think a computer is quietly rolling loaded dice, because I genuinely like to chase one of those down next. This video is AI made, and a real human team went through every line of it before it reached you, checking the firmware versions, the bit counts, the sources, all of it. Which felt pointed on a story whose entire cause was a thing nobody thought needed checking. If something still slipped past us, tell me, and it won't happen twice.